The first party here, actually not even named, is Chief Ben Etiaba of AA. You have 5 minutes to address us and who you are, why you want to be governor of Anambra State, sir.
All right, good evening, panelists, good evening, audience. As I've been introduced, my name is Ben Etiaba. I'm from Nnewi in Anambra South Senatorial Zone, and I am the candidate of Action Alliance, AA, the party that came second in the last governorship election in Imo State. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor, it's a privilege to have to speak with you this evening, exactly a week to go. And let me start by saying this, that we have 7 days to save the southeast of Nigeria from political mess. We have 7 days starting with Anambra State. Anambra is the light of the nation. I've been at this for the last 2.5 years. I offer myself to serve Anambra State. And I offer myself not because I'm the best out of the 18 candidates you will see in this election, but precisely because I believe I'm different. I believe I think differently. I believe that we need a new thinking to be able to deliver the Anambra of our dreams. Because if we carry on doing the same thing the same way, the result will be the same. And it doesn't make me happy to say this, but Anambra is broken. And indeed, Anambra is shattered. We need healing. I am a chartered accountant. I've been a fellow of my institute for over 20 years. I have led my professional body, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, in the United Kingdom. Indeed, till date, I remain most humbly the only chairman of the institute in UK that served ICANN for 2 terms. I'm delighted to say that I've also led the Nnewi citizens in the whole of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland, their first chairman. And I also, like in ICANN, received my 2nd term unopposed. And that meant that I fulfilled my campaign pledges whilst in office. It is very important that if anybody makes pledges while they are running for office, they fulfill those pledges. I've won 5 elections, like I said. I've lost no election till date, and I've always served a 2nd term unopposed, precisely because I've always fulfilled my campaign pledges. So what is important tonight is not what I'll be saying to you that I will do for Anambra State, but what I have done in the past, in all the offices I've held, to make you believe that I'll live up to my pledges to you tonight. I offer myself to serve, not to rule. Anambra needs an altruistic leader next, a servant leader in the mode of Dr. Emayo Bara. Before leaving the United Kingdom, after 25-year sojourn, 14 years ago, I've been back 14 years living in the Southeast. I led the umbrella group of all Nigerian professionals in the UK when Obasanjo was president of Nigeria and set up the London group. An election was called and I won that election to lead all Nigerian professionals in the UK. That was my last leadership role before I came back to Nigeria. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have led a number of groups in Nigeria, including the much revered Enugu Sports Club 1929. And our moderator, Dr. K, once came to address us at Nkata Umuibe, that I set up to address the issues bedeviling the Igbo nation, Nkata Umuibe. It has always been my vision to do well and to do better for our people, to change the narrative. I've done it at Enugu Sports Club. I've done it everywhere I've been. I offer myself to serve Anambra State, believing that I have the capacity to take Anambra out of darkness and into light. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Like I said at the beginning, we have candidates who have very strong record behind their names, very good history behind their names, and it's in the interest of Anambra State to screen them properly and choose well from amongst them. We'll now move on to the next phase, which is the random questions. And I'll invite my co-hosts. Each candidate will choose a question by calling out a number between 1 and 18. I want number so and so. So he will take us through that. Any number you call, the question will be read out to you and you answer it in 2 minutes.
So in that case, I would ask Ben to take any number from 1 to 18.
Thank you very much. It will be my privilege to take the first question, number one.
Okay, that's a very interesting coincidence. Because number one had
number one, yeah.
Yes, it was what we had started earlier with, and then I think it's so central to the people of Anambra. The number one question is: successive administrations have promoted the philosophy of Akurulo as a way of attracting investment in the economy of the state. How will you translate this philosophy in your development plans for Anambra State?
Thank you so much. I'm not sure we were told how much time we have for the questions, for the answers.
Did we say 3 minutes for this round?
Yes, let's do 3 minutes, yes.
3 minutes, okay, thank you so much. That's a very interesting concept. If you look at Anambra State, I think we have more billionaires per capita than any space in Africa, okay? And if you take Nigeria, for instance, and go to Lagos, you find that most of the major developments in Lagos done by Igbo are actually done by Anambra. If you go to Abuja, the same thing. And of course, let's not even talk about Port Harcourt and River State. We all know what happened after the Civil War with abandoned properties, the people that lost those properties. We're gifted people. We say we're the light of the nation, but we don't actually gloat about it because it's marks of arrogance if you do. But I feel so bad when I come into Anambra and the state I see just doesn't justify the number of billionaires we have. And you begin to wonder, is this really the Anambra we're talking about? So what do you do? Which is the question. I will be first, be the first governor, because it has not happened before. If it has happened, I've not been aware of it. To bring together the business elite of Anambra, to find out what their needs are, to create the enabling environment for them to think home and invest home. That is the first thing. Until we do that, we're not talking. These guys want to come home, and we're talking about security. If the place is not safe, nobody will invest at home. So you fix security first. You call a business summit because you don't know it all. Let them tell you their needs and ensure that given the world view that Ben Etiaba has, the strong will that I have to implement policies that are right for my people, that I'm able to provide that enabling environment for them to come back and invest home. It's not just in the Anambra in Nigeria. What about the Anambra in diaspora? We have a lot of billionaires in the US, a lot of them in Europe. Again, do the same thing. Our people are not looking for handouts. They don't even need much from you. All they need is a governor and a government that will not bother them, but that will create that environment for them to come and give what they already have. And that's what I intend to do, create that environment for them to thrive. Thank you. And we'll do so many things like tax breaks, make sure land is available for them, and make sure we map out industrial hubs, okay, in the 3 territorial zones, because you have to create the place that they can. I'm from Nnewi. Nnewi has a lot of industries, and we are the greatest employers of labor when it comes to the private sector. And it is not government that will provide the jobs we need for the private sector, but that environment, the infrastructure must be right for the private sector to thrive. Thank you.
Yes, we'll begin again with Chief Etiaba. You were about to choose.
I chose number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah.
What do you consider the most pressing problem of Anambra youths today? And how do you intend to address these problems?
Okay, the most pressing problem is unemployment. And we tend to tackle it head on. And I did say all through the course of my campaign over the last 2.5 years that even in government, that I will partner with the youth to deliver the new Anambra that we all seek. I will partner with the youth 50-50. Incidentally, in my campaign is the only major campaign with the youth as our DG. My DG is 39 years old, and he's doing very, very well. All of what you see me do in this campaign are powered by the youth of Anambra State. And even the campaign funds, you were talking about godfathers. I don't have a godfather, a political godfather. The campaign funding are mostly donations from the youth, because I've always spent my time in all 14 years since I've been back to Nigeria, mentoring the youth in the Southeast. What will I do for them? Create jobs and mentor them and showcase leadership. Because the reason why our youth are resting, precisely because we don't have leaders who are leaders. What we have, basically what I call political businessmen in leadership positions. So if Ben Etiaba is lucky to be elected governor, and an Action Alliance government will showcase leadership, lead by example, have a governor that will be honest with himself, honest with the youth, and walk his talk. And the body language alone of the governor will do a lot. But in unemployment, we're going to tackle it a number of ways. Number one, we'll create an enabling environment, like I said earlier, for the private sector to thrive, to hire people. That's one. We're going to use agriculture to curb unemployment. In the 60s, M.I. Abara used agriculture to industrialize the Eastern region. We used it to feed ourselves, and we used it to create jobs and then to earn. So we're going to do that. In today's world, a governor with a great worldview that I represent, with every sense of modesty, should be able to. Anambra State has 98% arable land. So, but we just let it waste because we're so lazy collecting allocations and borrowing to fund budget deficits that we're not thinking of creating jobs and creating wealth. So we use agriculture to employ our people, mechanized agriculture, not going into farms with machetes and hoes. Okay, we're going to use sports to develop Anambra State. Ben Etiaba will be probably the first sports person elected governor of Anambra State if Action Alliance wins on Saturday. I've been a past captain of golf, former goalkeeper in my college days, two-time volleyball captain of 2 schools. I play lawn tennis, I play table tennis. I know the value of sports. We're going to have 21 centers of sporting excellence in Anambra State. That will keep our kids off the streets. It will keep them employed. And we will also earn money for the state and for them, for their families, when we groom the best ones and get value when we transfer them abroad. Okay, there's so many things we can do to engage our youth, but the main thing is to create jobs, and we intend to do that and to showcase leadership. That will give them hope that tomorrow will be better than today, and then all this restiveness will begin to die down, and they can contribute. These things are not only going to be based on giving jobs. We will also train them on vocational studies so that they can be self-employed. In my family, virtually every member of my family is self-employed. So we know the value of self-employment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we know you were once a footballer, so if we're setting up a team, we'll contact you. Bros Etiona will be the captain in the middle of the field. Thank you very much.
So we have this question from Anazia Daniel. This question is for Ben Etiaba. What are the issues bedeviling the Igbo? And I think you just have 1 minute.
I think the straightforward answer to that is that the major problem we face today in the Southeast is insecurity. And then, of course, we have the major problem that we are noticing by the uprising, that I will say, of IPOB. And these are issues that are so evident that you don't need to be an Einstein to work out that if we can deal with the issue of security and be able to assuage and solve some of the problems leading to these agitations, that we'll have a safer climate, a safer region to operate out of. And we need to do this to be able to get our politics right, to be able to get our economy right, to be able to get virtually everything in Igbo land right. So I think we need in Anambra a governor who understands this basic issue and who is prepared to confront it head on by providing solutions to these problems.
Tell us some of your major contributions to women affairs, women empowerment, and the protection of womanhood in the last 20 years, and how you would cater for the interests of the women in Anambra State. Okay, thank you very much. And then Architect Jeff, go ahead. What it was Chief Dr. Etiaba that wanted to speak next. Yes, please.
Okay. What I'll say is that I've been campaigning for 2.5 years. And in all those months, I've promised the women of Anambra State that if I'm elected governor, I will I'll share government with them. Because it just doesn't make any sense that the son of the first and only female governor in Nigeria runs, for instance, in the ticket, a male ticket. So my deputy is a woman. And I've always been all through my life an equal opportunity employer. I don't see gender, but despite the fact that I don't see gender, I go out of my way to ensure that there is some sort of affirmative action anywhere I have been, so that women are accommodated. Because sometimes you say you don't want, you don't run, you don't see gender, and then women are being discriminated because you're not actually paying attention to that sector. So what I will say to the women of Anambra State is that I've already started by having the #2 citizen of Anambra State if we're elected as a woman. And believe me, she's the politician in the team. She knows politics better than I do. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
So we begin with Chief Etiaba. 2 minutes
Thank you so much.
or less closing comments.
Thank you so much. It's an honor and a privilege to have been on this platform this evening. And I want to end by saying thank you to my colleagues on the platform, the candidates, my friends, and Zakachuku, Colonel Jeff, Dr. Chidozie, Dr. Obinna Uzo, Val, who has since gone. I hope I haven't missed out on anyone. Having said that out of courtesy, I want to say this. I'm running for the office of governor, not because I believe I'm better than any of these guys have mentioned, or anyone else who is not here tonight, but precisely because I believe Anambra needs to move in a different direction, and I believe that I offer that difference. I want to take Anambra State from where we are to where we ought to be, not where we want to be, where we ought to be, out of darkness and into light. And I just want to end my speech tonight by quoting St. Francis of Assisi, that all the darkness in the world can never extinguish the light of a single candle. Anambra is the light of the nation, and I most humbly offer myself as that candle. Thank you so much. I hope you vote for Action Alliance on Saturday, and that will be the second party on the ballot, starting from the top. Thank you, and thank you to my colleagues.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.